Yerp, it's Perp back with another video, and I just got done watching probably the worst episode of American Horror Story. This is American Horror Story double feature, Death Valley season finale, series finale. Well, not series finale, but season finale. Whatever. I'm just really disappointed in this whole entire season. It had a lot of promise, it had a lot of potential to be good, but it ended up just being a complete disaster. There are some good moments. They're all in probably Red Tide, but when we got to this second part, it was just disastrous. Completely. So, we're hopping through time once again. We're back in the black and white. Nixon is president. Shit is just going left in the country, but the aliens want to continue doing this till they can make the perfect hybrid. But it won't happen until conveniently 2021. 50 years from then. Go 3 years earlier, and we see Eisenhower on his deathbed. We also get introduced to reptilians at this last moment. It's just literally Ryan Murphy just took every single conspiracy theory, whatever you want to call it, on the internet and stuff like that, and threw it into this last episode and just said, fuck it. That's how I feel about it. It's weird. So Eisenhower is just like regretting just doing what he did, putting these aliens in the position that they're in. You know what I'm saying? Also, he knows about the reptilians, that they're this other race that's been here even before these other aliens. Just completely random fucking information that, could have been dope if we actually just stayed with the black and white, and that could have been like a really dope reveal, but they ended up just throwing so much into these last 4 episodes, it just doesn't make any sense. But anyways, Eisenhower passes away. Then his wife tells, I forget his name, the alien guy, tells him, do not let this happen to me. I want to live forever. Really weird shit. There's some really weird, questionable things in this episode. Like, there's a scene where Richard Nixon, like, I can't say the word because, YouTube, but it was really sus. You could say he got abducted. We'll just use that term. Mrs. Eisenhower goes off to somewhere where she meets, what's her name, Calico. I finally know her name, Calico. I just completely forget her name. And then we finally get into present day. And man, I'll tell you, as I was watching this episode, I feel like they really rushed the black and white scenes just so we can get to modern day, because they spent a lot of time in modern day kind of trying to wrap everything up. But even as good as a actress as Sarah Paulson is, could not save this episode. I don't even think her performance could even really carry it. She was just, had to do what was put on script. I understand. So things are chaotic. Dumb and Dumber, or Tweedledee and Tweedledum, end up finding their friends dead. End up getting murked, which they could have honestly got to that really earlier. Like, they should have did that in the first episode of this whole Death Valley, to be honest. They just rushed right through it. What's her face gets her head cut off. They literally turn her into the most generic, like, robot. It looked like something straight out of Spaceballs. It was really weird. I was like, where's this going? Because literally, at this point, I'm like tuning this out. For real, I'm just like tuning out the episode. because you do have some really interesting ideas. Like, I like the whole plot of, or the whole plan that the aliens want to completely replace the human race and whatnot, but it's just like you're throwing all this in one episode, and this is supposed to be your finale. It's very sloppy. We see this baby is ugly. This shit in no way is cute, or no. That shit, no. Big beady eyes, no, bruh. Sarah Paulson's character tries to go to Calico and start this kind of rebellion against, what's going on so they can get out of here. That shit goes left because they have bigger plans for Calico, and this ends up getting Mrs. Eisenhower killed. And that's one thing I will say about this whole entire series, or this part of the story, the whole Death Valley, is the whole exploding of heads. That is the only thing that's really been consistent in this whole entire part 2 of this 2-part trash of a double feature. I gotta call it how it is. That's just how I feel about it. And I really like American Horror Story, but I feel like this was honestly the worst season that they have ever put out. This was just like, I'm pretty sure Ryan Murphy and just all the writers were just sitting in the room and said, here, let's just throw vampires or something like vampires. This doesn't even really connect. It loosely connects with Red Tide, with the pills, with the military, working with the aliens. But it was just really a shitty way of just putting it all together. You just threw a bunch of things together that didn't really make any sense or was really cohesive. I think this was just a really bad idea because, like I said, it's just it was like 2 separate ideas for seasons. Like, this could have been, Red Tide could have been season 1. They could have done like 8 episodes and then did Death Valley as another season for like 8 episodes. But instead, they try to cram 2 stories in one and just did a terrible job with it. I'm pretty sure there's going to be somebody that's going to try to do this very same thing and do it much better than American Horror Story did. I think this was just a very lazy season. It started strong with the first 3 episodes. The first 3 episodes of this season were the strongest it's ever been. After that, it just takes a fucking nosedive and just lands in a pile of shit with me. That's just me. Now, I don't know if I'm going to waste my time with season 11, 12, and 13, but we'll see. Right now, I'm not looking forward to anything American Horror Story, and that's pretty crazy to say considering how long I've been watching this and I've been really rocking with this show. It's just disappointing that people gotta watch this bullshit. You can't just give us quality writing, quality stories. It's just really unacceptable. I really hope that Ryan Murphy kind of hears the criticisms and just goes back to the basics. That's all he has to do. Go back to the basics, because now you have competition out there like Chucky, which Chucky I think is going to be the #1 like horror show to watch. That's just goes without saying. It's just 2 episodes. It's already better than this bullshit. But anyways, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at PertMinder420. And look, if you enjoyed this season, if you enjoyed all of this that was presented in both parts, I applaud you. I'm not going to knock you. To each his own. But this shit could have been 10 times better. It just really fell apart, and it's not a good look for the overall series, in my opinion. Till next time, I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.